Well, hello, Monroe Symphony Orchestra, Northeast Louisiana community. I'm Jarrod Richey, the current president of the MSO Board of Directors, and I am joined by our new maestro, the one and only John Mason Hodges. John, thanks for being able to chat with me a little today about our upcoming season.
Very glad to do it. I'm very glad also to get to talk to the Monroe audience and get to know them a little better in these first few concerts. It'd be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun concert. And John, and I thought we would just kind of tease a little bit about the season for our patrons, for our players, for those who are just interested in the buzz around the Monroe Symphony Orchestra this year.
Yeah.
And I thought we would kind of talk a little bit about what we've got ahead of us coming up in just a few weeks with our what we've kind of coyly tongue in cheek called our Out the Gate event on September the 13th. Would you tell our listeners a little bit about the Bach Brandenburg 4? Somebody's watching this video, knows Bach's name, but may confuse him with Mozart or Beethoven,
Sure.
or may think, oh, what is this? What's the big deal about the Bach Brandenburg number 4 concerto? What is that?
Well, Bach wrote quite a number of instrumental pieces, and he wrote six Brandenburg concertos. They're concertos for soloists, what they call a concerto grosso, where you have some more than one soloist with an orchestra, small chamber orchestra. And he wrote six of them, and they're just fantastic pieces of music. And I've always loved them. And we thought maybe for the first concert, we could do one of those and talk to the audience a little bit about, how Bach constructed his works and get to hear some tremendous players. Marta is going to be playing this virtuoso violin part in this fourth Brandenburg. Calls for a violin and two flutes, two recorders actually, but we usually play it on modern flutes. So there's a terrific violin part and a challenging flute part for each of the two flute players. But it's just delightful music, and I think it'll be very pleasant for everybody to hear in our first concert. We're also going to do a little bit of the Mozart horn concerto that we have coming up. We want to kind of plug that, on October 11th, our second concert. We'll have a full orchestra concert, not just a chamber orchestra, and we're going to play, among other things, the second Mozart French horn concerto, which is one of my favorite things in the world. And James Brolin is going to be playing our horn part, solo horn part. But we thought maybe we would tease it a little bit in this first concert and play just one movement of it and give everybody a little taste of what's coming up.
Yeah, so that's coming up on September the 13th. And John, we've got just a diverse lineup on the season. We've got this first concert in an atypical venue. It's in the beautiful, newly renovated and newly established Hotel Monroe, and they're coming to us as part of one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Michael and Christy Eccles own the beautiful downtown Hotel Monroe, and we're going to be up on the ballroom, the beautiful ballroom, the rooftop ballroom there for the concert, because this Bach Brandenburg is only a chamber ensemble. Explain that to our listeners who might come that night after having a little dinner at the hotel, come upstairs and be surprised by there only being what seems to be an incomplete orchestra. Is it incomplete? Or tell our listeners about that.
No, it's not incomplete, but it's small. When they talk about a chamber orchestra, it's an orchestra that can fit in a smaller room, right? So Bach wrote these works for chamber orchestra. So there are, I think we'll have 13 players, and each of them has a very important role to play in a work like this. When we do the October 11th concert, full orchestra, we're doing a Haydn symphony, we're doing some Mendelssohn overture and Mendelssohn pieces, and it'll call for full-sized romantic orchestra. But this is a 17th century, early 18th century orchestra that only needs 13 players.
And we're so excited about this opening out of the gate September 13th concert event. You can get your tickets online at mymso.org, individual tickets, but also you can help us sustain our Young Romantics concert season theme and get your season tickets in a number of levels, also there at mymso.org. What we're thinking, and John alluded to this, is that for so many people, music, orchestral music, if it doesn't have words, they don't know what it's saying. And some people, even John, I know you would agree, some people would even think that if music doesn't have words, it's not really saying something. And neither you or I would hold that view.
No, indeed.
But we have to understand what music is saying. And that's one of the gems of this September 13th concert, as you mentioned, is that we're going to play this Bach Brandenburg 4 with this beautiful chamber orchestra with our concert master for the season, who was our concert master last year, Marta. And we're going to also have you kind of signpost in a brief way about what we're hearing, but then, like you said, also tease out Dr. James Bolden, ULM music faculty, who's been a longtime board member, longtime player in the symphony. He's going to tease that Mozart horn concerto. So if somebody's not used to coming to the Monroe Symphony Orchestra concerts, or not really sure what's the secret handshakes, what do you do here, what do you do there, what is the music going to do for them, this is really a great concert to come. And our prices are, our standard adult tickets are $25. Also, students, elementary through college, can get in for $5. I mean, you can't beat that to come to this event. And it's going to have a lovely ambiance, John. I haven't got to chat with you much about it, but it's going to be in that beautiful hotel ballroom there at the Hotel Monroe. We're going to have a cash bar. There's going to be seating. People could come early and eat at the wonderful restaurant downstairs. And really just have a good time of fellowship and a way to kick off the season on September the 13th. What would you say for somebody who, might be on the fence about, subscribing for the season, or, give a little pitch about some of the stuff that you and I know all too well of what's coming up, but what the average viewer of this video interview might not know about what's around the corner for our area?
Well, the concerts themselves are going to be outstanding. I think the programs have been chosen, and will be a great deal of joy in those. But I'd like to talk for a minute about why live music. Why not just listen to a recording, on your Apple Music deal? You can hear every orchestra in the world basically nowadays in your headphones. What's the difference? Why would it be different? We talk a lot about AI nowadays, and what AI is going to do to the job market of people's lives. What research turns out. Yeah, I mean, are we becoming a society that has stepped away from the actual human interaction of life and put this electronic device between us and whatever it is that we're enjoying? And to a degree, I think we are. And I think what people find when they actually come to a live concert, where real people are making real music at the moment, and it's a different performance than anything else in the world. There's a life to that. There's a genuine, visceral kind of experience, of hearing bowstrings, on a gut. It's not gut anymore, but you know what I mean.
Right.
On the violin, the real wind coming through a real pipe and being played by a real person. There's something joyous about being a part of that, being in the room when it happens. Like live theater. It's got a life to it that you can't recreate by recordings and film and all those other things, the electronic things between us and it. So I would just encourage everybody to come and experience live music again that's not amplified, right? We're not even amplifying it. It's not like a rock concert. That's a different kind of music, and it requires amplification, again, an electronic kind of aspect. I'm not a Luddite. Don't get me wrong. I love my computers. I love my electronic devices. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's something unique about a live performance that's happening right now. And if you were to do two of them in a row, they too would be different. So you're hearing something unique. And I would
That's right.
just encourage everybody to come and hear that and experience that with us.
Yeah, there's something about listening to live music because it envelops you in a way that, even though we've got some amazing, as you said, technology and surround sound systems and subwoofers and all of that, you can get a pretty high fidelity recording of a lot of orchestral music like you can with just about any. But there is something about looking over and seeing someone else enjoying that same thing
That's true.
in the same moment in time. Also, to have a glass of wine, have a little charcuterie board there, have a little refreshments, be
Yeah,
able to enjoy that shared humanness of listening to live music and experiencing, some of these sounds and seeing the hard work of our Monroe Symphony Orchestra members
that's right.
who have put together some great music. So it's going to be a great September 13th concert that really kind of out the gate kick off the season. And then we've got an October 11th concert at Church of the Redeemer in West Monroe. We're hitting on both sides of the river this year.
Good.
And then in the spring, well, we have a couple of Lanyap Chamber concerts, one in December with the Black Bayou Brass. And then we've got February 28th, John, that's going to be our Love is in the Air, dessert and dancing, some waltzes. Imagine Viennese waltzes like you see in the movies. The symphony is going to play, John. You're going to lead them in that. And then folks at ULM's Bayou Point um, uh, Event Center will be able to dance with live waltzes. We're even going to even teach a little bit of that ahead of time.
Wonderful.
And then we've got a March chamber string chamber concert back at ULM in the Emmylou Biedenhardt Recital Hall. I believe that's on March 19th. And then we round out the season with a season finale featuring the Marjorie Strickland Emerging Artist Competition winner, Elijah Asmussen, as he plays Liszt Piano Concerto. And that'll be back at the end of the season, along with some other things. I think we said Brahms is on that event, and that's back at Church of the Redeemer. Yes, Brahms. Which symphony, John?
Second Symphony.
Second Symphony. So
The Symphony.
we've done a lot for the area this year. We've got folks who've been longtime patrons and subscribers. We are doing some changeover. Obviously, John's joining us, and I'm taking over as president from Judy Bennett. We've got a new executive director part time, Amity Ely, who is helping us getting onboarded, and we're adding folks to our working Monroe Symphony Orchestra board. So I'm very excited. There's a lot of work to be done, and a small orchestra like us compared to some of the big orchestras, we are all wearing multiple hats. But I think it's going to be a great season. And if you have not got your tickets, or if you've not yet finalized, it's not too late to do so. Or if you'd like to speak to me about your business being able to support the symphony, much like the Hotel Monroe is sponsoring this wonderful out of the gate event there on September 13th. If your business, if you would like to connect your brand with our organization, there are ways to do that and give your business value from saying you or support these humanizing Monroe Symphony Orchestra events that John was talking about, the live music enjoyment that is just undervalued or out of sight, out of mind when there's so much music recordings available. So get your tickets for September 13th, 7 o'clock, the Hotel Monroe, the Out of the Gate Bach's Brandenburg Concerto, a live chamber concert, as well as a little signposting with Dr. James Bolden and Maestro Hodges and the members of the MSO that night. We'll also let you hear the rondo movement of the Horn Concerto number 2, so that you're prepared, so that you know what's coming on October 11th, where you will hear the entirety of the Horn Concerto, as well as some other music there at Church of the Redeemer. So a great season ahead of us, John. I am so glad that you're here. I'm glad you're going to take some time on September 13th to help our audience understand what they're listening to. Do you have any final words to our audience?
Just that I'm looking forward to this season very much indeed, and I can't wait to get to meet some of the supporters, those enthusiastic music lovers in Monroe and in Northeast Louisiana. Let's make music together.
Yes, it's going to be great. Maestro John Mason Hodges coming to us from Memphis, Tennessee, where he lives there. And I'm Jarrod Richey, our current president of the board of directors here for the MSO. and it's going to be a great season. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your excitement. Thank you to those of you who have already subscribed for this 25, 26, 54th season of the MSO. Thank you so much. And those of you who are on the fence and or just haven't got around to it because life is busy, you can do that at mymso.org. You can get your single tickets for our September 13th concert, or you can go ahead and take care of the whole season there and subscribe with base packages of $150 for the season or more. And we would love for you to do that. We would love for you to partner with us this season. So thank you so much. We'll see you on September 13th.